Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Turn up the volume there. Good morning, everybody. So, well, kind of an interesting spot here. We were unable to get over this overnight gap. Then at the beginning of this session, we did get over it and immediately tumbled lower. And now we're kind of stuck at this 23. They've sat at it a couple times, but we're still below it. I don't know if they're gonna move back to the 26 before the session opens. I can see the yen looks like it's coming off significantly, and E-mini has been moving higher. So we may continue to move lower, but if we do move lower, what do we got? Well, we could move to 21.5. So let's do that. Mark that. Oh, the cap lock key is on. And yeah, that's about it for that. And then over here in Bitcoin, we have once again come off. It's just been like they bought it and then it's just slowly but steadily fell as people have taken profits. So I suppose that's good for those of us that are short. Anyways, let's grab the links here. Yeah, YouTube has changed its share. Okay, get a couple people in here. So I got a question for you guys. I'm gonna put it here in Discord, but the question is, does anybody know what the yearly percentage increase in the national debt is right now? It does kind of look like they're making a beeline for the VWAP before the session starts. So let's just kind of see this by year. Oh, and we get two things going on right now, or that I'm trying to do. So the first one is we are testing out set profit targets. So I'm always going to take the +4. Unless it's a trend day, and during this testing period like this week, if we do get a trend day, which I'm not so sure will happen, but if we do get a trend day, I'll still take the +4 targets today only. I mean this week only, rather. And I also have some well, you know, I'm trying to always be forward testing something, but I'm particularly interested in if we come up, like, let's say that we get to 25.5, 26, and we get a strong tick in pressure. I'm kind of feel like that's an area that I've tried to take and they've faded on me several times. So I kind of just really want to watch those areas and do a little bit of testing and observation there. So yeah. Okay, well, a lot of back and forth trade, but they did tick up. We'll see. Anyways, I do have some food here, so I'm gonna eat. Okay, well there, it seems to me that they tried to make a push back to the VWAP, but they didn't quite get it. And there's been quite a bit of back and forth here. They actually started to test lower. They printed that 24 for a moment. It came back. It seems like this is unresolved. So there's a strong tick right at the edge. That one was right at the edge. Hmm. See, I've been searching everywhere to figure out what is like the average yearly increase in the debt. And I can't find it, right? Because you should be able to compare what's the debt increase versus the GDP increase. And you know, if GDP is 3 and debt is 4, then obviously the debt is going to continue going up, right? Why is that number so hard to find? And it kind of seems to me that depending on what that number is, it would kind of make things a little bit more clear as to how you solve that kind of a problem. Because if it's 4 or 5%, then clearly spending is out of control at that point. Well, I mean, you'd have to dig into those numbers a little bit more, but there's this whole thing about is do you decrease spending or do you increase revenues? Can you increase revenues? And the reason why I'm interesting is it seemed the past day, okay, so they ticked back up, the strong tick came in and they were able to tick it down. And it was right there on the edge of the profile. So I think that the theory right now is that when you get the strong tick on the edge of the profile, that you should just fade it. If you go with it, you'd be long 26, and if you go against it, you'd be short at 25.5. So we're just kind of watching to see which one gets hit. Anyways, so there's been this story out past day or two from Goldman, basically saying, these taxes could increase the debt, essentially. And they're even starting to say that it could cause a recession because rates are going to go up and the stock market can't handle the rates going up. And so it will cause a market crash. And then you'll have higher rates and lower growth, and then you're really screwed. But I kind of wonder, this tax bill passed like what, back in November? And now it's important? Kind of sounds to me like maybe somebody has a position on, huh? Yeah, I think so. And if we were going to trade it, I think you probably wouldn't want to trade against them. But at the same time, it seems like everybody's kind of short, and maybe we had a reversal. So I'm kind of really think we need to pay attention. If we start moving up, you're gonna see, you could see a lot of people stopping out, sort of a thing, Or if data comes in showing revenues are better than expected, etc., that would be, an indication against that trade. So we've got to pay attention to those things in the next coming weeks, I think. Well, I have to think here. I mean, it sure sounds like they've talked about this many times, but who is it that's actually saying this? Is it Gurr? It's not on the CNBC front page. The politicos are really pushing it. Okay, so there it is again. Normally I would be taking a trade here, but I'm avoiding it because of where we're at in the profile. Okay. So now it's done it several times. UB is selling. Interesting. The 2 year is moving up a little bit. I think we might be getting some spreading. I can see it in the knob. Some spreading, and then it came back because the ZB wanted to go higher. And we might actually see ZB come down a little bit first. Well, I'm gonna have to say this has been a pretty boring open, hasn't it? This might get interesting if we actually break out here. Well, they are hitting that 26 a little bit harder. Okay. Now 2 in a row. I think that we could maybe take one here. I'm reluctant to do this 26 half. Okay, they are hitting it. And an iceberg here. Okay. Might be an iceberg here as well. Ticked down. I don't think we're gonna get filled. Did we have, I didn't even check. I felt it seemed to be a little scatterbrained today. Hey, we had wholesale sales in Canadian that was a little better than expected. We have Richmond Manufacturing Index at 8. Okay. So kind of step in the profile here at 27, 27.5. Okay. I don't know. We've gotten a couple of decent upticks, but we're not actually seeing the cumulative delta increase. Well, kind of what I see going on right now is that I can see the beginnings of a spread trade.
Block buy.
Okay, interesting. Well, that is a lot of pressure going on there that's just going nowhere. Isn't that curious? How big of a block buy was it? It was 4,000 block buy. This is really stuck in the mud. Yeah, it does look at the moment that they're in a buying mode. For sure. Problem is that step at 27, 27 half. I think that they're going to try and sell this 26 half to see if the 5K there is real. Jose Ponton, what is a spread trade? Okay, so a spread trade is where these three treasuries, they tend to move in tandem, but one will move more than the others or less than the others. And so what we'll do is we'll buy one and sell the other one in expectation that the one is going to move more. So, okay. So now I think we could pretty safely have to click in here. Well, or rather we should have. So going with the pressure would have worked out. So you would have. I'm gonna say you would have gotten. You would have gotten it here. Went picks against this. Took about 20 minutes. Okay. Quite a bit of volume going through 27. Mm. You know what? Vertcoin also reminds me of Litecoin Iceland. They're both overvalued and bought by people that think that it's going to moon, which is great if we're moving up, but that's not what's happening right now. So Vertcoin and Litecoin stand to be have some of the biggest pain inflicted on a bear run. And until we get a higher midterm pivot, which still has not happened, where it's still down at 8,100. So but if we get down there, Vertcoin might be one to try and accumulate. And one of the things that I like about Vertcoin is there's not a lot of them. So you can get it cheap, but right now I don't think that the price is right. Okay, so they continue to hit this 27, and hardly anybody hits into 26.5. I just don't understand, why is nobody hitting the 26 half? I'm starting to get suspicious. Okay, now a 5k iceberg at 27. Hmm. Okay. Oh, it cleared everything. We don't want that. Clear current trades on new position. Thank you. Okay. Not what I wanted to see. Going to let them have another go at it. Okay. I think we're okay. I really would have liked to have gotten that 26 half. But nobody would fill me. Maybe I should have just bought the 27. Lots of flickering around here. It's right here, and ZF is not getting through. Hmm. What's the deal here? 5-year. Come on. Let's do
Block
this.
sell.
Snap. Okay. It was pretty weird action. It really looked to me like buyers were gaining steam and sellers scrambled in there to stop it, you know? Look at the sell. They had to hit that 27 twice to clear it too. Oh no, wait, that one's a buy right there. Yeah. It's not really hold on. It's not really a significant move until like 30. It's a thing. But I think that was more. I think more than thinking that it was that like that was the breakout point. I think that was more like uh, I thought that the breakout point was earlier and I had held off, you know, and then I felt like now I really have to go in, you know. How often does it go without backing up one price? Well, when it's trending, I mean, it usually doesn't stop, but we're not getting trending, we're getting bubble up. Okay, so there they sold the 26 half. See, I really should have been getting in at 26. And then I maybe would have been able to have taken a profit at 28. Oh, probably not. Or where did I say it was? I said it was at 25 half. So I would have gotten a profit at 27 half. And that's what I probably should have been doing. But it was like, so this is kind of an interesting thing, was that I thought here was the range. So it was like, well, I don't want to take it when they're initiating at the end of the range, but then it turned out that this was the range. Really, this right here. I find it interesting that they really did break through the range, and you would think that they would go through the step, right? At least that's how I thought it worked. But they turned around there. I don't think you could say... No. I'm not... Well... I don't think... How can you say that a trend scenario is least likely? I think that in this situation, when you get a bubble up, that the most likely thing is that it accelerates and exhausts, and we didn't quite get that. It was just starting to accelerate, and they put the brakes on it. So I don't think that the fact that that one failed was well, we did get out when it rotated though, so that's okay. Right, we bought the one. They weren't making it, and we got out -1. I did take a loss though, Jack. I did exactly what you're saying. And we knew almost immediately when it wasn't going to do it. So I'm happy about it, actually. Why are these? Seems like these are not big as they were. What's with that? Was it just not as thick yesterday? What's with that? That one's okay. Okay, so they're still having trouble beating out this 26.5. As we've come off here, the spread has continued to go up. I Interesting. I mean, they should be trying to sell this. They're not. Only 400 have gone in. I have 1428 in queue. So it says to me that this bid is not as strong as it appears. Well, once again, it looks like I had it right and I'm not getting filled. I think there's still a good chance that it comes back down and we do get filled. Oh, I'm not that sure. That's an interesting thought. Tucker says if you think that it will come back down to where my order is, then why don't I sell it? And um, I'm not 100% sure. But like, you sold it at 27 and a half, and then it bumped up to 30, you know? Ooh. Doesn't seem like a wise idea to me. But let's watch it and let's see if, it does it. Maybe then I'd understand what you're saying and have a different perspective on it. At this point, I feel like my chances are diminished, but we have a good enough um, queue position in the right place that we could see it. So I want to know why I didn't. I said in the chat, right? I thought that was a good buying action if they come back to like 26 half 26 and I see the raised signals, like I could buy it. Um, but for some reason I didn't see it. I didn't take it. So what's with that? Well, now it's getting close to the equities open. I'm not so sure about the E-mini here. We are at like a long-term resistance level. We're at a long-term resistance level, so if they fail this level, then we definitely could move up. But if they decide to buy on open, hmm, I don't think that I'm actually ever going to take trades in ZF, so I'm going to get rid of the order column here. Into my cumulative delta here. So I'm a little concerned that we continue to not see delta building. So there's the mini. Okay, well, E-mini's testing higher. ZN did take a tick higher at 28.5. Okay, so that time the spread came down significantly. I guess when you resize these windows, it resets the cumulative delta position. Some heavy resistance right here at 27.40. Okay. Pretty significant downtick that time. Don't think I could confidently buy it anymore. E-mini did break out. Hmm. So E-mini had an okay run there, and now they're attacking the low of the session. Okay. Okay, there they are at the low. Note the come off and cumulative delta there. Um, hmm. Curious what we got going on here in Xeon. I'm thinking about just taking the +1. But not as much buying as I thought I would expect. Okay. Should have seen that one because it was only 40 there. Okay. Cool. Really thought they would test the 26 half stronger than that. Could be a signal long for us. Yeah. Tucker saying the long could blow right out the top. Nobody went for 26 half. Yeah, I thought it was curious that they didn't go for 26 half because that's, that was a key level where some big orders had gone through. And so I thought I was going for the +2 because I thought that that made it more likely to clear. And typically it does. But I think what we're getting now is that this 27 even is like the balance area, and nobody wants to buy below it or sell above it. Or, vice versa. Nobody wants to sell the 26 half, nobody wants to buy 27 half. when they know that they can get 27 even. But then Tucker's right. It does seem like it seems just based on which prices they touched and how aggressively they touched them that there could still be some buying in here, and that the E-mini is coming down, and if the E-mini continues to come down, that we could move up. But the cumulative delta is saying selling, although it's pretty random. So I do think that there's a possibility that we come up and, but I don't know if we have a good enough probability and risk reward to take that. Nor do we have a signal. I don't know why. I'm yawning and I feel kind of sleepy. Okay, so they did clear 26.5. If I could get filled short at 27, I would take it. Now that they've cleared that. Good morning, IQ. I was like, what? What's FGM? Yeah, Dave. Good job getting to one tickers at least. I do have to say it was been quite a tricky day. Although I think the action that we've seen so far speaks to lower. Okay, so I don't know how I feel about how I got filled there. The bet I am making is to 25, so that seems right. It is kind of a fade, but we have the momentum on our side and it's only 2 ticks within the VWAP, so I think that that's okay. I don't like that cumulative delta that we got there in from the buying, and definitely not what we got there in ZF. I want to see how they treat this 26 again. Are they able to just tick through it, or is this a lure? This is this right here. Okay, well, a decent amount of volume, but not able to hold it. I'm gonna see some profit taking at 26 if they touch it. Mm. So at the moment, this seems to have something to do with ZF not being able to hold a strong offer yet. And harder to see absorption spots, which help me see through the ticks. Well, not only that, Dave, but the book is so thick that just everything looks like absorption. You know what I mean? It's kind of starting to become difficult to see where absorption is really occurring. Okay, so they weren't able to hold that offer and they a little bit on the bid. Took quite a bit of buying there in ZF to do that. They may yet be turning around again. E-mini testing lower again. A little tepid. A little too tepid here, I think. Well, darn. That was what we wanted. We should have just held on to that one. The E-mini did get a little bit of a buy there. Man, I'm so mad. I'm not mad. I guess I'm slightly amused. Hmm. Okay, so now the selling is really starting to accelerate. I think that bit right there is a bit too much. Maybe we come back a little bit. I don't know. Hmm. Equal level 2 here. Oh, see that? This is weak. This looks very, very weak to me. Okay, something's going on in the E-mini. See that? So they're making a buying push and they're receiving a lot of resistance at the moment. Yeah. So it's back above 40. Yeah. Okay, so there's the E-mini. Now it looks like they're going to make a test and break of highs. And you can see all of the level 2 in Treasuries is starting to flicker around a lot. I'm concerned that the E-mini is going to break out here, and the most we get is a tick out of it in Xian. But let's see what happens. And this level 2 right here is awfully thick now. This is kind of the same thing as the previous trade. This level is not holding as much as I thought it would. 6K though. That's interesting. They let it get to 2,000 before hitting it again. Wow, and the E-mini is down at its lows just like that. Why is it doing that? That's weird. Okay, well, I'm just gonna stop out of this because it's not working correctly. Where are we at? Yeah. Come on. Yeah, I think that we could really push up because that looks to me like a catastrophic failure in ES. It may yet prove to be one of those things where, like, oh, we all thought that it was just done and we're wrong, and it goes right back up. But at the moment, man, oops, that's not what I wanted. Oh yeah, that is what I wanted. Look at that. It could be a fake out, but probably not. Probably that continues to go down through the overnight low at 2730. Like in the E-mini here, you could take it right here. And if not here, yeah, that's where I would take it. Okay. A little concerned about how much is coming off here. At 27, 4,000. I guess we're just really thick. Kind of waiting to see the E-mini come to a balance area. Nope. Looks like I took a long at the top of the range again, didn't I? Okay, look at this right here in ZF. See that flickering? Adding and removing 600 is kind of interesting. But that would be, I think that now that we ticked up pretty good confirmed lure there. Okay, well, they didn't hold the 27 though. Kind of sitting there on the edge. Starting to get a good look. Good strong uptick in ZF and ZN. But I'm particularly interested in what ZF just did there. Just run out of water. Okay, well, it only took 2,000 to tick it down again. That's not necessarily what you want to see. E-mini looking like it's ready to start the next leg. Okay. Not a strong bid, that down tick. Okay, so they did make it a little bit lower. I think it's really like 27.30 that we want to see. Okay. Kind of curious how the 10-year is kind of looking weak here when the E-mini is eyeing its lows again. So you have that there's only 2100 at 265 versus 26. You would expect them to be like ready to tick up if they broke the lows in the E-mini. Okay. So significant buying there in the E-mini. Kind of like a stop run of sorts, I think, there. A little bit of a battle, and it looks like the sellers won that one. We got a dot. Okay. So tick up, but not super strong. So we're still in the same place, but the 10-year is a tick lower. And the offer is much thicker than it's been before. Just fighting like mad here. We did see things that got us into this, but at this point, I'm starting to wonder. It's been 20 minutes. We're getting like an inverse head and shoulders now. Well, I'm not necessarily seeing accelerating buying in the E-mini. It's been here at 27.36 for quite some time now. Okay, that price is a little bit weak, but they are absorbing on it. They're stacking there. That's kind of interesting. Strong tick down. Strong tick down in the middle of the range, in fact. Well, I feel like, now has it been 30 minutes? No, 24. Strong tick back up. Buyers have been trying to get above like 27.37 and they're just not making any headway here. And in fact, the cumulative delta in the E-mini is trending slightly down to some extent. And you can see where the liquidity is shown up there, providing resistance. Okay, not the strongest tick up that you would want to see for them to attack the 27. Maybe if ZB is able to tick up. The Delta NZF continues to be buying. Hmm. $26.5 looks balanced now. So we've just ticked through this area a lot. E-mini is still right where it was when I reset it. They still haven't been able to push it away. ZN looking weak even though they're ticking down in E-mini. Okay, there was a little switch. Okay, now E-mini's really eyeing that low. There you go. They went. Well, I'm just saying the knob. Sure is taking its time. Okay, something happened in there. Yep. Well, I got awfully weak awfully quickly. Kind of weird. Yeah, it's like way too late to even do anything. Oh, yeah, that could be. I'm just, okay, well, really, if we look in here, it's kind of funny how it's like, here's this one, and I was really disappointed in it, and I sold at 27, and that was the right trade. And I think I could have gotten the 4 off of it because we did touch 25, didn't we? I don't know if we cleared it, but that was the right trade. And then after that, I don't know what it was. You know, that one I sold the bottom of the range, and that one I bought the top of the range. And I'm not sure why. So one thing is that it got worse as we went along. So I think that there may be something to, getting fatigued, decision fatigue. Really, if we get, really what I think I should have done was here at about this point, should have said, okay, we'll just quit because it's there's not doesn't look like the drivers of treasuries today are fundamentals, and so I don't think that you have that much opportunity in Zan. It's like I guess you could trade it off of correlation with the E-mini, but then if that's what you're going to do, why not just trade the E-mini? And I think that if I did just trade the E-mini, I think I could have gotten some okay trades there. So yeah, well that could be the knob is raising because the knob went down too much. Right. I can show you. Mm. And you can see now, you get that rush down. Plot the 5 to UB to see the entire curve. I just don't include the UB part, but I chart everything else. I don't understand. What's wrong with that chart? Oh, you're saying that you need to see the knob spread as compared to the UB spread, as compared to the bub. Well, I have that one on there too. I wonder, so where are we? See, the bub has been mostly down. No, but I think it's I think that the knob. We'll come back and we'll look at this one. This one in particular. I think that what you're seeing in the knob by itself is probably enough to explain what's going on, right? So you have the knob, we steepened, and then we've come back to this support area at 215 and bounced off of it several times. And when we started out the session, right here, we were kind of like right there at it. So it was a good place to go along the knob. And yeah, so I do think that people were going along the knob there because of technicals. And then here, if we take a look at the E-mini now, okay, here's where we were high. Okay, here's when we were at the lows, and that was when the E-mini was testing its highs, right? And then E-mini went back down to the lows, and we came back up a little bit, but not quite so much. And why not? Because the knob has gotten too high, and it's coming back. I think. Where was that other chart again? Right here. See, the knob was at the top of its range, so now it's coming back. Which one's that one? Oh, that was the ZN fly, yeah. So I think everybody was going into ZN to take it. But this still, to me, looks like... let's get rid of all these now. Do have to get going. You know, I do think that there was some spreading up and in there, but it also looks to me like the let's sell treasuries is still in like full effect, you know? You can see that Delta come in there in that last one when we got out. They really came in. And then they took a tick lower. And I think that there's an okay chance that they take out the lows of the day after I go. So this is where it's like after 9 o'clock, between 9 and 10, they're going to go and do it, and they might actually break a low. And because ZB went up so high, when they were taking these buys, the ZB went so high in these buys. Look at this buy in ZB compared to this buy in ZN. I wish I had seen that at the time. So now you're saying, okay, we're at the top of the range in the knob. And now it looks like they're taking it down the other way. And when they take it down the other way, then they could make lows. Because they're going to want to make lows when they're flattening. Or at least it's going to be a lot easier for them to make lows when they're flattening. Make new lows in ZN, that is. But yeah, that might be true. Okay. Well, yeah, it happens. I'm unhappy about how it went. And I think the primary reason why I'm unhappy is because I never got a trade that was even close to having enough momentum to be taking 4 ticks on. Maybe one if I had caught the right price, and it seems like I just was not very adept at catching those. Very range bound. So we're still having problems with the range. I think it makes it even harder when you're rotating around the VWAP. You know, like this one. Okay, we know we're going up. You can buy it there. Then they're rotating around the VWAP, so it's kind of hard to take that one. So I did see, and you know what, the thing that's even more confusing is that I think where we saw strong ticks, not much consistency in there. So it's like you'll see strong ticks, and then this one, we saw a strong tick, and then a strong tick, and another strong tick. So that was kind of more of the one that I would want to take. But that one just kind of seemed to me to just pop up out of nowhere. So yeah, I'm having a hard time. Definitely. It's going to take me a while to sort this all out. I have all summer to do it. Anyways, I've gone over like way too much, so we'll